Model Markowitz. Part 3. Capital Market Line. Capture a risk-loss deposit to pay the investments with two deposits will give us the next possibility. Pay attention. This is the deposit we talked about. If you take here, this is a risk-loss deposit. Let's take the deposit point. This is the highest point in this situation. So we will take here the deposit point. This is called the market's market share, and this is also called the market share. What does it mean? We come and say of all the different possibilities that exist, there is one possibility that is the best, the fastest, that will give us the maximum in the level of the risk. This deposit point will give us the market share that everyone will invest in. What is different from the other? Different from the other in the level of risk. One wants 10%, one wants 30%. So what will someone who invests only 10% in the market do? Where will he put the 90%? This is in the 0% risk. And who wants 200% risk? He will be in a higher level, which means he will be somewhere here. All the investments will be here on this straight line, which is called the market's capital, but you can't really go over this line from above the level. This is the level that is on the market. This is exactly the thing that you can be on the market. Even a low point you can't control. What is here? This is a point M, and what is this point B? The point B is that you invest in the market share twice, 3 times, 4 times, then you make a high bid. This is the point you put all the money in the market share, but more than 100%. This is the point. Now I understand what it is to take the bid and invest in the market itself instead of giving a bid. To get a bid, do you understand? Let's say you have 1,000 shekels. You come to the bank and you tell them, give me another 100,000 shekels in the 10% quarter. What do you do with 200,000 shekels? You invest in standard rentals. You invest in S&P. So you have an investment of 200,000 shekels. Where did you take the 200,000? From where did you take the profit? From where did you take the profit? So you're building on this, that your bid is higher than the market share, and then from there you're going to the market share, and it's a bigger risk of the future and also of the bid now. This is a trade, so you're hoping for a high bid, but it won't work because you're building on the profit that you had in the past. You can't know what happened. Whoever doesn't want to risk, where will it be? Here, whoever doesn't want to risk will be here. What is here? It's about the risk of the government and the usual period of 10 years. So this is the meaning of the investment in high interest rates. Pay attention. What is a high interest rate? A high interest rate found on the capital market. Now, what defines a high interest rate? A high interest rate defines the existence of the market. What does that mean? Every high interest rate, R of I, is equal to RF plus RM minus RF minus sigma, P minus sigma M. This is the capital market line that represents all the current conditions. That means what they're telling you now, it's the risk of a low interest rate. It's the risk of a low interest rate in addition to the interest rate, the risk of a low interest rate in addition to the interest rate less than the risk of a low interest rate. What is the expression for this? RM minus RF, it has a name. It's called the risk premium. Pay attention. You get a risk above the risk of a low interest rate. You get a risk. It's called the risk premium. So it's a risk premium. That means what is the risk of a low interest rate? It's equal to a risk of a low interest rate. And what else? And a risk premium that is based on what? On the ratio of the risk of a low interest rate. And it's related to the other ratio. I'm sorry, what is the? Sorry, R? So it's a risk of a low interest rate. R, where is R? This is R, I don't know. The other one is a high interest rate, and this is P, and this is P. P is a risk, P is a risk, and M is a risk. It's a risk, M is a risk, and the risk is the same as I'm looking for. Yes. Or you can write I. Here to be consistent, okay? Please, so what does it say? It says that let's say I can give you a question, and if the answer is this question, what can you say? Or if they tell you I took the market's ticket or the ticket, you can say I took this ticket if it's a risk. So using this question, you get to the concept. That is a risk of a low interest rate, the market's risk, a ticket of 14%, a ticket of 24%, a risk of a low interest rate of 4%. If a ticket is a risk of 16%, what is the risk of a low interest rate? And what is a risk of a low interest rate? A risk of 20%, a risk of a ticket of 66%, a risk of a low interest rate. Here are 2 questions that I can understand the concept by now. So the market's risk of a 14% risk is 16%. The risk of a 24% risk of a low interest rate, the private risk, is 4%. So if a ticket is a risk of 16%, what does that mean? If it's a ticket, it's a capital market line. So I can put the data and find it, right? It's very simple, so let's do this. Let's say that Rm is equal to 0.41 for the ticket of M is equal to 0.2 for the private risk is 0.04. What am I looking for? The ticket of the ticket I didn't know, but the net value of P is equal to 16%, so 0.616 is equal to 0.04 and also 0.14 less than 0.04. The result is sigma P. Sigma P is equal to, let's say that sigma P is equal to sigma P. Let's say that this is the ticket. Let's say that this is the ticket 0.16 less than 0.04. The result is 0.16 less 0.14 divide 0.04. It's a ticket of 66%. What? B. Yes, it's a ticket of 66%. So what do we get? Again, 0.16 less than 0.04. The sum is 0.16 less than 0.14 divide 0.04, 3.02 sigma P. This ticket, which gives you a result of 16%, what does it have to be? With the ticket what? Higher. So how much did we get? 0.288. You see, the higher the ticket, the higher the result is a result with the ticket, so it's a ticket. Why is it a ticket? Because it's on this ticket. Now, let's see if this ticket is a ticket with a B. How do we check if the ticket is a ticket? I'm going to have to say the whole thing. How do we check if the ticket is a ticket? Again, we'll use the ticket right. In what way? We have a result of 20%. So, let's say the result of 20%. What should be the real price of the ticket? Between the two, the ticket is 67%. So, let's say this B. Check the result of 20%. What should be the ticket? The price. So 0.2 equals 0.04 plus 0.14 minus 0.04 equals 0.2. We'll change to 0.29. So let's see if we get that sigma P is 66. Let's say it's okay. If not, let's say it's not, so sigma P should be equal in the end. This formula is linear, so there is no chance. So this is a linear formula. So this is a nonlinear formula. What does a nonlinear formula mean? A formula that is not on the market. Why is it a formula that is in the order of the equations of the market? Because in a linear formula, first of all, how much would you have to be the price of the ticket of 20%? You would have to be the price of the ticket, not 0.04 according to the data. What is the price of the ticket that you get? If we get a price of 20%, 66%, so it's not a ticket. Great. Thank you. So that was the issue of two ratios of the ticket price. Now we are going to another stage, okay? On the subject of chances, and we come and say, okay, we have a market price. This is called a market price, and there is a market price of the ticket. Now, what is interesting when you add a formula? When you want to test a single formula against a market price, you don't have to look at the price of the ticket. Why? Because you don't check the risk of the formula in itself. You have to check the formula relative to the market price. So how do you measure a formula relative to the market price? You have to measure the ratio between them, the covariance. You need to have the shared control. So what happens to you? In fact, the covariance is the ratio between the ticket price of the single manager. Yes. You need to understand you need the combination of both covariance and shared price, both the ticket price of M and B. So you need this ratio. So what is this ratio? So we come to a problem, and